On behalf of the Board of Directors, the Committee of Volunteers that for a week has put up everything you see around you, and all those that work tirelessly, for free I might say, year-round to make this games possible, we are very happy that you've chosen to be with us in this time and in this place at the foot of the rock. It does my heart good to see you all here. Thank you so much. Our 2021 officers and directors include Norman Livermore, President; Steve Brady, Vice President; Jim Thompson, Secretary; Valerie Smith, Treasurer; Richard Swanson; Jim Anderson; Kathy Garrett; Jim Morton; John Hilliard; Jim Killow; Rosina Gray; Bert Temples; Wayne Malcolm. They are joined by our distinguished guests, Wilkins Fisk Urquhart of Urquhart, Chief of Clan Urquhart; R. Alistair Morrison, Chief of Clan Morrison; Divine Count Don Russell; Mr. Colin Gray, Depot Consul General, Her Majesty's Consul General. Kevin Conquest. Drum major. I'm in trouble now. Wave 2 of the Mass Pipes and Drums, under the direction of Drum Major Ken Mick. Baton Rouge Caledonian Pipes and Drums, Charleston Pipe Band, Chattanooga Pipe Band, Clan Lindsay Pipe Band, John Moore McIntosh Pipes and Drums, and the Nashville Pipes and Drums.
I'm here in representation of the British Consulate General and not my boss who's a Glaswegian, and you definitely wouldn't understand. As I say, I'm here in representation of the British consulate, but perhaps on this occasion, if you'll allow me, more importantly, as a son of the city of Perth, as a Scotsman to my core, with a family on my father's side going back generations in the Kingdom of Fife, and on my mother's in Ayrshire and Argyll. So whilst I might not carry the rank of ambassador in my day job, I'd like to think that every day I am an ambassador for our great country of Scotland. And up to 25 million of you and your fellow citizens in this great country, in the United States, can join me in that role. 25 million of you who claim Scottish heritage. So all of us here, whether Scottish by birth, by family, or by fun adoption for this weekend, for which you're very welcome, all of us can join together in promoting our special country in the North Atlantic. And what better way to do so than through a Highland Games? From Connecticut to California, from New Hampshire to New Mexico, and right here in the great state of Georgia, Highland Games are a wonderful celebration of our country. In Scotland, they're often known as gatherings. The Braemar gathering, the Blade Athol gathering. A gathering meaning a coming together. And we come together in the Georgia sunshine. I was about to say under Scottish skies, but this is far too pleasant. We come together, all of us, to celebrate our history, culture, and tradition, of course, but also to celebrate a dynamic and modern Scotland. A Scotland that's always looking out to the world, but perhaps more importantly, a Scotland that is always welcoming in. And so on behalf of the British Consulate General, and indeed on behalf of all Scots, I welcome you all in to our Stone Mountain Highland Games family, and I thank you for having me here today. And it is my great privilege, my great honour, to formally declare the 2021 Stone Mountain Highland Games open.
at Stone Mountain Highland Games in Georgia, and I really wanted you all to meet this lovely gentleman right here, Alistair Morrison.
Hello.
Hi. So Alistair, I just want you to talk to the world and tell everyone who you are and what your official title is.
Well, I am Robert Alistair Morrison, Chief of Clan Morrison of Rookie. I am the principal chief of the naming Clan Morrison, which is a hereditary position that I inherited after the unfortunate passing of my father within the last year. I get to represent my clan at different functions and represent Scotland in conjunction with that, and it's a great honor and privilege that I'm able to do.
Well, I just want to say I'm so sorry at the passing of your father. I really am, and I'm sure that I can join with everyone in saying that. We send you our condolences, and I'm sorry that happened. But now here you are, Clan Chief of Clan Morrison, and tell me what that's been like for you so far, and how this came about, and basically, you know, going back several generations, how your family line became Clan Chiefs or Clan Morrison.
Well, being Clan Chief is wonderful. I have a lot of fun. There are so many nice people that I get to meet as part of this. I get to meet a lot of the organizers of the different games that I go to. They're all wonderful people that have such fervor for their Scottish heritage, which is wonderful to see, and I really love it and try to channel that energy within myself as well. As to becoming this, in the middle of the 19th century, my family decided that the Morrisons in Scotland decided they wanted a clan chief, as they saw others with and they were without. So they did some genealogical research and put forward a few candidates to the Lord Lion to try and see if they could get a chief. My great-grandfather, Dr. John Morrison, was the candidate that was able to successfully prove their heritage to the satisfaction of the Lord Lion and was appointed chief as a result of that. And the title has then been passed down from father to son since his unfortunate demise.
Wow, that is fantastic. And so when you were born, what are your first sort of memories? I'm assuming you were born while your grandfather was already Clan Chief, is that correct?
Yes, when I was born, my father was still heir to my grandfather. So when I was younger, I did go with my father to games, but he was not chief for a large portion of that. And when I was about 10 was when my father took over, and my grandfather died, and my father took over as chief, and then started going to a bit more games and being a bit more active within the Scottish community around. And that's when I also kind of started stepping up as I became lieutenant to the heir, and wanted to learn the new responsibilities of that position.
Wow, and so this is such an important role, and I've watched you all day long. You've walked around these games. You're such a man of stature, and you're very well fitting into what exactly this is. When did you first realize, or were made known as to what this would be one day for you? And when did you first come to that realization of the role that you would play?
I mean, I knew from when I was very young that I was going to be chief of the clan one day. That was something that my parents didn't keep from me. I was very readily aware. You're going to be chief one day, Alistair. And but none of that prepared me for what it actually is. My first games was at Grandfather Mountain over the past summer, and it was a completely different experience from what I thought. Not bad, very good actually, but not at all what I was expecting. It's a lot of talking with a lot of wonderful people and hearing their stories, sharing my stories, and just making connections and learning about other people and other people's history, and learning more about my own history from some of my close relatives and friends. And it's truly wonderful and something I am so grateful that I'm able to do.
Oh, wow. And so I just want to ask you, what are a few of stories? Do you have any stories or anything in particular? Tell us about Clan Morrison, and give us a little bit of the background and the history of the clan, and anything that really just stands out in your mind, anything you want to share with us.
Well, there are a few stories. My clan is the entire origin of my clan is still being researched, but there are portions of us that are on the mainland of Scotland in Ness, and there are those of us who were in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland off of the western coast. And a tradition from those older clans that I've actually been learning a bit about recently is that the tannist of our clan historically and of other clans, part of a rite of passage as being the tannist to earn the respect of your clan was that you had to go cattle raiding and steal some of the nearby neighbors' cattle. For us, that was generally the McDonald's, the Mackenzies, the Clouds. But that was a rite of passage that a tannist would undergo, an heir would undergo to earn the respect of their clan before he was fully tannist and before he became chief. It's a little fun story that I kind of enjoy.
That's fantastic. I love that, and that's very true. And you know, Scotland has so many, in the history of Scotland and the clans, there are so many interesting stories about things like that, but also feuding. And a lot of the clans feuded. Do you know the clans for which Clan Morrison might have had feuds with, and anything about that?
Yes. So the MacLeods and the MacDonalds were historically clans that took over our lands and attempted to, and occasionally successfully, subjugated portions of our clan. So they were our traditional rivals in that. As they controlled the lands we wanted and tried to live on and tried to control us. So those tensions are largely gone, but we do, at Morrison, we do recognize that is our past. Though all of them aren't all bad. There are some good ones out there still.
That's brilliant. So, and what part of, if you can tell the viewers who are watching this now, what part of Scotland is your clan from? Which areas?
So the area around Ness in Scotland, which is on the mainland in the Highlands, and then the Outer Hebrides, which is an island chain off the western coast, northwestern coast to be a little more specific, that includes a variety of islands. We were generally on the top island, Lewis, and our ancestral fortress is actually at the very top of that island, which is called Duneshtin, which is a wonderful place to visit.
Oh, so have you been there? Obviously,
I
you
have.
have. Tell us a little bit about it and why people should go, and why they should go and visit.
Well, it's got a wonderful view. It's this little rock outcropping. There's probably a few, I'd say like a 10-yard or more drop down to the ocean. There's a little chasm that separates Duneshtin from the mainland of Lewis. And there's now a bridge over that the North American Clan Society had built, but there used to be, the only way to get down was to scale down that cliff and then go up the side of the other cliff after a short swim through the river. But it's just it's a beautiful place. You can still, it's been uninhabited for hundreds of years, so it is not in the best shape, but you can still see where the different buildings are. There are some historical message boards that you can look at the location to see what it would have looked like, some artistic recreations, and you can still see the general floor plan from the exposed rock walls that are still visible.
Well, and it's very stunningly beautiful out in the Outer Hebridean Islands, and one can get there, by taking a ferry, and the ferries can take your car if you have a rental car. You can take the ferry out of Oog, off the northern tip of the Isle of Skye. You can get a ferry out of a number of different points, all the way down from Oban, all the way up the west coast of Scotland. So it's a short ferry ride out to the Outer Hebridean Islands. It's truly spectacular. I feel like the terrain out there is so completely different from the rest of Scotland. It's very beautiful, very rocky. Stornoway is out there. There's many things to actually explore, and the standing stones that are featured in the Outlander film are actually out near Stornoway, out there in the Isle of Harris and Lewis are actually very connected. There's a bridge, and so you can go out there and drive from one island to the other. It is truly a must-see for anybody here who hasn't been out that way. So, Alistair, what do you have on your horizon? Do you have plans? Do you have things that you're going to be doing in the next year, anything you want to share with everyone here about what's coming up for the clan and what you plan to do and where you will be.
Well, for Clan Morrison, we're trying to get a little more involved with our clan members right now. We're trying to get more people involved and expand our presence in North America and otherwise. We're also trying to reach more young viewers, viewers for this and just young people in general, to bring in more young people, because I, as a young person, really enjoy this. It may be part of how I was raised, but this is really fun. I feel a great sense of belonging when I'm participating in clan activities. Bringing in more young people into the clan society and improving our overall presence is the next few things on the agenda for Clan Morrison right now.
I think you're going to do an excellent job of that, and I agree with you. And I think I so enjoy myself to see young people so interested in the heritage, history, and culture of Scotland, both in the past and the present, and moving forward into the future. And it's a delight to meet you and be here with you at these games and watch you. And it just gives us such hope for future generations of young people being involved and wanting to be involved and learning about this really rich culture and getting that deep sense of belonging. So with the Clan Morrison, and I know I just want to touch a little bit on, the clans, you have a surname, and they're the major clans that have such a name as Morrison. But then there are also septs, other surnames that are associated with and involved with the clan. Can you tell us a little bit about some of those septs so that some of our viewers, when they're doing their research or history, they may recognize maybe not Morrison, but maybe some of the septs?
Sure. So one of the biggest ones is Gilmore, and septs are generally people that lived in an area controlled by that clan, who had a different last name but were still feudally sworn to that chief. Gilmore, there are a bunch of others. If you're a Morrison, if you think you might be a Morrison, clanmorrison.net is a wonderful website. They have a large list of our surnames on there, and any Highland Games, they know a lot. There's a person at the tent who will be able to answer a lot of questions and does know our extended list. There a significant amount of extra names for Morrison.
That's fantastic. So people can get involved, and so again, you have a website and you have social media, and we'll put that information for this segment when it goes on to social media. We will have hashtags and a list in the descriptions of where to find you. But if you want to just verbally say, where you have a presence online, where people can find you.
Clan Morrison Society, we have a Facebook page that we have a Facebook page we post to. I personally have a Facebook page, Alistair Morrison. That's on Facebook. I also have an Instagram page under the same name. Both of those are at Rookie Morrison. Clan Society of North America is our Facebook page. If you're thinking about trying to get more involved with Clan Morrison, you're welcome to go apply there. You'll learn about some of the Morrison heritage that other members share, and that some of our administrators and clan society members post. There's a bunch of good content there for you to look at about our Morrison history and the various things that Morrisons have done over the years.
That's excellent. And so, Alistair, I just want to thank you so much for talking with me here today and giving us a little more very interesting information about your clan and about yourself. I know that people are going to be wanting to follow you. We know that you're the youngest current clan chief of all the clan chiefs of Scotland, and we'll be looking to see you over in Scotland with the Standing Council and with some functions there. And we're just so excited to see you being so enthusiastic out here at the games, upholding the banner of Clan Morrison and doing it. And thank you so much for that, and thanks for being with us. And we're going to be following you and checking in with you periodically just to see how things are going and how we might be of help for you, and just to watch how all of this unfolds for you with Clan Morrison. And we encourage everyone to get involved. And it really doesn't matter. You know, I always say when we talk about the Highland clans, you can have a surname of Morrison, you can have a surname of one of the Septs, you can become a member, but the most important thing is that you have an interest. If you have any sort of an interest, you are welcome. And so we just wanted to welcome you, and thank you so much for having us. And with that, I'm just going to do a little pan around your clan tent so people can see what to expect. And here we have Clan Morrison Society of North America, Ulster. And so you can come to any one of these games. If you haven't been to the Highland Games before, you can come to the Highland Games, and they always have sort of a clan row here in the States. And so the clan row consists of many other types of clans and their tents, and so you can come and talk to them and research a little bit about your own personal history, and the history of your family and your ancestors, and just make friends with people and wear your tartan. Alistair, thank you so much. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
Today's mass bands were led on the field by Stone Mountain Highland Games senior drum major, Kevin Conquest. Member are the following bands for their continued support of our games. The Athol Highlanders Pipes and Drums. The Atlanta Pipe.